Really, this is a video about another question in Portuguese. It's another sentence in Portuguese, alright? So I'll just write it out and then explain in which part it can be divided and why it works the way it does. Alright, so this sentence in Portuguese, it basically asks about the reason, kind of, on why somebody doesn't want to go to Portugal. Alright, so there's again more ways you can write it. But this is probably the more common one if you're talking about to a familiar person, alright? So this pronoun, and therefore this conjugation, by the way, gets used in cases when you're talking about inside an informal situation. If you're talking in a formal situation, you would more probably use the way of saying you being você, which is different than tu. Tu is more informal. It's in informal situations, talking to somebody who's familiar to you. Você is to somebody unknown. Therefore, it's safer to use você, but to familiar person, definitely tu is the choice. So this is the first case to familiar person. But it really does not truly matter because the entire construction that we're talking about in this sentence, it's based on a different thing than word, pronoun, personal pronoun we decide to use. So the idea is, I can just again, I can analyze the sentence and say about this part and this part and this part, what exactly they individually mean. Alright, so to just browse it once again, ¿por qué tú no quieres ir para Portugal? And the sentence basically asks, why don't you want to go to Portugal? So to just divide it into individual words and translate them to English, just show that the sentence structure is actually very similar to English, is to just do it as so. So ¿por qué means why, right? It means why. It's written as two words, like right here. And then to know, to is you. So why you no means not or don't. You don't want to is to no quieres. Alright? No is like the negative marker in Portuguese for Portuguese verbs. Alright, so no or not, the negative marker. And then quieres ir para Portugal. Well, quieres, it's you want, so it's the verb want, but in the conjugation, in the case that to is used. If a different, if for example the third person in singular was used, it will be just quer. But because it's you want in this formal form, it's quieres. If the second person is used in the formal manner, then it's você, quer again, because then quer is used again. It's the same actually like third person singular. And then it continues again, this is the modal verb, and after modal verbs, you have the verb of the actual information. So it's about going somewhere, right? It's asking why are we not going there? So here is the verb for to go, it's the infinitive form. It's the infinitive form, you ending with the are, the most basic form of the verb in which it is given. And after modal verbs is the same one used in sentences with whatever pronouns. And then para Portugal, where para just means is the preposition to, and Portugal is just Portugal. So it's no different, this last word, of course. So, ¿por qué tú no quieres ir para Portugal? Basically asks why you want to go to Portugal. And again, the other way to say this is very similar, but you just use a different personal pronoun. And I will answer why it is so in a second. So I already actually said why it is so. The idea and the reason is very simple. It is simply due to the fact that there is a formal way of saying you, of talking to a person in the second person format and in informal way. This is the informal way when talking to a friend, let's say, and then when talking to somebody you don't know, then você is the choice. Alright, so again you see not only the personal pronoun changed from tu to você, but it changed also the modal verb, the quer, which means want. You want, if you're talking to somebody familiar, it's tu quieres. But if you're talking to somebody who you don't know, it becomes você quer. You see that with você, the words are conjugated slightly differently. This will be still understood, but this is the right form for this particular pronoun, alright? So if you want to use it, querer, the word to want, and you want to conjugate it into the form of was, remember in this case it's can. And then again it continues the same way as it was. So here to go after a modal verb like want or must, you use the infinitive form, so the basic form of the verb, of the informational verb in the sentence. To go, that's about, or because the sentence is about going or not going to Portugal, the question particularly on why somebody is not going. And then para is to, again, the preposition still, and this still holds, it's the same thing. So except for these two words, these two sentences are completely the same. And the only thing that this entire sentence means is a question. It asks, why don't you want to go, or why do you not want to go to Portugal? Or in other words, why don't want to go to Portugal? And this is structurally, it's very similar structure to English, and the individual meanings of those words are outlined quite